1.
Hey, you guys, welcome back to a special edition of the Blue Milk Sports Show. We're your host,
As always, I'm Petey Boy Zane.
and I'm Patrick Toy O'Neill. We're going to give you guys a fantasy special update. I know a lot of you guys out there have been asking us to
Break
put
it
some
down.
input in on fantasy football. So,
Who we'd like to start, who
and,
we are going to sit.
and listen, guys, we're not here to make or break your season. It's just our opinions out there. So don't be blowing smoke up our asses on it.
Yeah, that my team stinks already, so I'm not even worried about it.
Hey, we got a bunch of 1-4 teams over here, but we will give you the knowledge that you need to hopefully turn your seasons around like ours.
Sure. Where you want to go first?
Yeah, we can start off with kind of a lame game, but there are some guys out there on the Bears and the Ravens game that are at least fantasy relevant.
Sure, there are.
And I know you got a little bit of a question on who's going to be the workhorse this week for the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, I want to know who it's going to be. I got Javorius Allen starting. I don't know what to do though. Is it going to be the other guy, Alex Collins? I mean, Allen had a good week last week.
He did. He really did. From what I've been watching with Alex Collins, though, I mean, I see a lot of potential in this kid. The only thing he's ineffective with is holding on to the football. If he can hold on to the football, they got something special there in Baltimore. But I know you like that guy, Allen, so...
Well, let me ask you. I'll tell you who I got on my bench real quick to see who I could substitute. I got Marshawn on my bench, and I got Jamal Charles on my bench. Would you change anything there? Would you not start Javorius Allen and start one of those two guys?
Marshawn Lynch?
Yeah.
Absolutely, I would start Marshawn
Would you?
Lynch.
Because he hasn't really been doing huge for
I
me.
understand that, but you know what? This is a division game. We don't know if Derek Carr is actually going to play.
I know.
And
No, he is playing, definitely.
he's definitely playing.
Mhm.
I definitely plug him in. I mean,
Yeah.
they're really. I don't see them really throwing the ball as much, only because he's still hurt. He's not 100%.
Sure, and the Chargers, they're depleted, dude.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
maybe, I don't know.
physically and emotionally.
I know. Their stadium stinks. Their fans are bad now.
They're
It's
not
a
even
shame.
in the right city.
I know. It is. It's a shame. If
It's
you're
brutal.
a Chargers fan, I'm sorry for you.
Yeah.
But let's
absolutely.
get back to the Bears-Baltimore game.
Yeah.
So you think keeping Buck Allen in my lineup would be silly, having Marshawn sitting the bench? There's a lot
Absolutely.
of upside to Buck Allen, though.
Yeah, and like I said, there's a lot of upside with this guy, Alex Collins.
Sure.
But, there's other fantasy relevant guys out there that are in this game. The resurgence of Mike Wallace.
When he was a Steeler, though, Toy, I love Mike Wallace. I pick him I think he was a rookie the same year as Calvin Johnson was. And I had both of them dudes on my team, and they put up rookie numbers for me.
Yeah.
But after that, you follow dudes after stuff like
Sure.
that,
Yeah.
And he did go on to have a pretty semi-decent career.
Sure. He got paid a boatload of money when he went to Miami. I don't think Miami should have paid him that much money just
Absolutely
because he's just a deep threat type of guy. He's not like your solid number one that everybody thinks he might have been. But now that he's back with the Ravens, he's sitting there comfortable. They have a couple veterans over there with him and Macklin.
Sure, and you know what? I love Macklin.
Oh, yeah. How could you not like Jeremy Macklin? He's a
hate it.
class act.
Definitely a class act, and the guy's sure-handed.
He plays the game right.
Absolutely, and when the Eagles let him walk, I get it. He wanted Des Bryant money,
Yeah.
and me personally, I don't think that he was worth Des
No,
Bryant
absolutely.
money.
And not only that, he couldn't stay healthy.
I remember that one summer he had a mystery illness.
Yeah.
I still
Moving
don't
on,
know what that is.
What do you think about what's his name, Jordan Howard?
Jordan, man, he played good last week, dude.
He did. I'm really shocked at this guy. I wasn't expecting him to put up the numbers he's been putting up this year. But he's really come on strong this year.
You know what? I guess if your back's up against the wall, he's got that other guy battling for his job, which is Tyreek Cohen. Right?
Yeah. He's a short little mini fireball. Reminds you of a Darren Sproles type.
Yeah, the type of dude that you love in your backfield.
But man, he's got so much heart, that kid.
Oh yeah, I agree, man.
Moving on to the next game, Green Bay at the Vikings.
Green Bay at the Vikings.
Well, you know that, fantasy relevant, you're just going to easily, as soon as you start thinking about that game, you're thinking of Alex. Or Alex Rodriguez, because I said A-Rod.
A-Rod. That's what I
Aaron
thought of, too.
Rodgers.
Sure, I'll take any one of his receivers except the one that I have in my starting lineup because he's not getting me no points. That's
Martellus Bennett.
Martellus Bennett. He's killing me.
Yeah, Martellus Bennett. I don't see no relevance with that guy. But yeah, Devontae Adams and Randall Cobb, they're surefire threats. And then you can't forget sure-handed Jordy Nelson. Oh my God, that guy's unbelievable.
He's like the new Steve Argent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but bigger and faster.
I know. I love the guy. Well, I hate playing against him.
Sure, absolutely.
Let me clarify that. You know what I mean? But yeah, anybody on that Packers offense, I'll take.
I mean, and if you're in like a PPR league, you got a guy like Jerick McKinnon who is coming in replacement of Dalvin Cook, who, I mean, it's a shame that he went out, and we don't know what to expect with Latavius Murray. What do you expect?
I'll tell you what, I drafted him this year. I thought that he was going to be the guy. I thought he was going to be the guy to start out carrying the load in Minnesota.
Well, he had a decent career, not a phenomenal career in Oakland.
Pro Bowler last year.
Yeah.
You know, like
I enjoyed watching the L Train.
Sure, so did I. Agree, but I can't lie. I didn't really have my ear to the ground on any Minnesota Vikings in the offseason, so I didn't know what the deal was going to be with their backfield. But I took a shot on him, and he didn't touch the ball really until Dalvin Cook went in.
Right, and it's a shame because they have a lot of other weapons there in Minnesota, but with Sam Bradford going out, I mean, you really can't trust any of the receivers over there. I mean, not saying you can't trust the receivers, but with Case Keenum throwing the ball, I don't see anybody really getting the ball.
I'll tell you what though, man. Case Keenum actually, I think that he played better than Sam Bradford. They benched Sam Bradford.
Well, obviously because of he's got the mobility more than Bradford does, but the arm of Bradford he doesn't have.
I agree.
And if you have any of those guys on the Vikings, as far as Stephon Diggs or
Adam Thielen
and Kyle Rudolph,
absolutely, dude, they got a great tight end.
Yeah, I mean, do you trust any of those guys?
I don't know, man. It scares me. Case Keenum does scare me. I agree. I'll tell you what, though. How do you not start a Stephon Diggs?
I know.
That's the way I feel.
He's an unbelievable player.
Sure, I have the same. There's other wide receivers in the league that bothers me not starting them, like a Demarius Thomas. He's not having a number one type.
I think he's going to bounce back this week.
I sure hope he does. I mean, they're playing the Giants and they're at home.
Yeah.
But
let's not get too far into it. But do you start the Vikings defense this week?
Absolutely. I always am going to like Xavier Rhodes. I have faith in that dude. I know that you've heard me say
I've
that
always
before.
liked the Vikings defense, and this is a division matchup.
Sure.
And they always play A-Rod tough.
I know.
Especially at home.
But man, A-Rod is just, when somebody plays him tough, he just plays a little bit tougher. And it's almost not fair the way he plays,
We're going to move on to the next game. Detroit Lions are at the New Orleans Saints.
They're at NOLA.
This is going to be a fun game to watch.
Sure, man.
Do you feel that this is going to be a shootout in this one?
I don't.
Do you start both quarterbacks?
Absolutely.
Well, obviously you're starting Breeze, but do you start Matthew Stafford?
If you got Stafford, you got to start him.
Yeah, because what type of defense is he going up against?
I know. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Like, the Saints' defense is pretty brutal. And Matthew Stafford, highest paid guy in the league.
Yeah.
And they're going in New Orleans. New Orleans doesn't really run the ball, you know what I mean? It's going to be an airborne game, in my opinion.
My interesting guy I'm looking forward to watching is Alvin Kamara. He's a versatile back, especially if you guys out there in the PPR league, if he's still out there on the waiver wire, that's somebody you must grab.
If he's out there.
And now that they have the departure of Adrian Peterson, they still have Mark Ingram there, but Kamara is just so versatile, and he can give you so many points as far as
that guy plays great, man.
In a receiving role.
Yeah. You know what? They're my favorite type of running backs, Toy. The guys who catch that little 3 and 4 yard screen, or a guy who can do a halfback draw. You know what I mean?
Like, yeah. Who's your most interesting guy that you'd like to see in this matchup?
Marvin Jones Jr.
Yeah, I was actually just thinking that myself.
In my opinion, I think he's their number one. They would probably say Golden Tate.
Right.
But man, that guy is sure-handed. He catches everything, Toy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Sure.
There's a lot of guys you can keep an eye on though. Eric Ebram, what's his name, Amir Abdullah, right?
Does what's his name finally? Yeah, Mirador. Do you see Willie Snead actually coming out with a breakout game?
I
Finally
think
coming
that
off a suspension last week.
I think that he should. Maybe he's got to knock some rust off, but get out there and prove yourself, young man.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
Because people have him tucked away on their bench.
Right.
Like he's not in free in most leagues. He's probably not a free agent.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll see. And I like that other guy. Drew Brees is number one receiver. I think he's a beast. What's his name? Thompson? Michael Thompson or something like that? Who's Drew Brees' number one?
Well, I was looking at. I thought Willie Snead was once Brandon Cooks left.
They have another guy now.
Well, I know they have the guy Brandon Coleman there, but I mean he's a big target. He's a 6'6" guy.
He is a big guy, man.
But yeah,
Who do I like this week? That's an ugly game to like.
yeah.
That might be like 50 to 40.
I know that's definitely
what I mean?
definitely taking you overs there.
So if you guys got fantasy players in that game, start them. I would. I can't really see this being a 10-10 game going into the fourth.
Yeah, yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
What's the next game you got up for us?
Do you wanna? For what?
We can stop and do another one. That's fine. All right, guys, we got a little long-winded here. We're going to come back at you with another fantasy show. Like, subscribe, get in touch with us. Let us know what you guys think about fantasy, who you want to start. Tell us why we're wrong, if that's what you think.
Yeah, absolutely. Any type of
And any type
Input.
of input, let us know.
positive or negative, it's still good for us.
Sure.
We could always use some good feedback.
Absolutely. There's no such thing as bad publicity. And
Sure.
until next time,
May the scores be with you.
I think that was a